one of my wife's cousins. We caught him. That was probably the most unexpected person we've caught.
How did you feel when you found out?
Just the same as I did with anybody else. I mean, if my mother was a paedophile, I would go and do sting her as well. It's no one's exempt. Hi, I'm Joe Jones from the northeast of England. I run a paedophile hunting team known as Guardians of the North, and I'm here today to answer questions from the honesty box. How do you even begin the hunting process? What we do is we get photographs donated to ourselves of people who are over 18 but look younger, or send us photographs from when they were children. We put fake profiles online using those photographs, and we leave them there till somebody contacts the profile. We'll just talk about whatever they want to talk about, and then go down that road, see what they want to do. We'll tell them our age, and if they want to continue, we'll continue speaking with them, whatever they want to speak about.
And when you say online platforms, which platforms are you talking about?
Wherever you have children. Whatever platform children's on, you'll find a paedophile will worm their way in some way or another. How did you get into this? I got into this because my son was getting messaged by a paedophile. I went to the police twice to help us to try and bring him to justice, but the police wouldn't help us, and I just went home as a helpless parent. So I decided to try myself. Whilst trying, I had 30, 40 men and women messaging my profile. So I just felt guilty putting my phone down and just carried on from there. Have you ever been violent off camera to any of them? The answer to that is not so much violent. We've had to defend ourselves. We've had car wrote off. People's tried to bite us. But like I say, is when you make a citizen's arrest, you're allowed to use reasonable force, and basically what we do is just take them to the floor and hold them there till they settle down or till the police arrive. But no, I've never been violent towards any of them.
Have you been on the other end of violence?
Yeah, I've had teeth knocked out. Well, not so much knocked out as I got elbowed in the face and it knocked me teeth slack. And like I say, I've ploughed everything I've got into doing this paedophile hunting. And like I say, I always say it's a waste of time putting teeth in a face like this. So, I mean, that's just the way I say it. It's, like I say, I'm willing to take anything from them rather than it be a child or rather be one of the team. So I'm always the one that goes in first or confronts them first.
What's the preferred public location to meet someone?
Just anywhere. Shopping centres, anywhere. Like I say, we tend not to ask them, tell them where we'd wanted to meet. We wait for them to tell us. And if it is our choice of meeting someone, we'll always meet somebody in a place where there's a lot less people, if possible. But there's been times where, like the other night, I had to go to a nightclub in Sunderland and have the DJ taken out of his box on a Saturday night when it was full. So, I mean, you know, if I've got an opportunity to go out and catch somebody, I'll take that opportunity. I'll never let it go. I very rarely go to the door, and if I do go to an address, I'll wait round the corner, I'll get the police in, I'll give them the evidence pack and ask them to go in, and it's a lot less traumatic for the families. Do you think paedophiles can be rehabilitated? Most certainly not. You can't change somebody's orientation. I mean, I like women, obviously. I would never like men, or I would never like children. So, I mean, no, definitely not. And it's been proven in the past that rehabilitation does not work.
So how common is reoffenders?
Very common. I've been out and caught the same person quite a few times, 4 times in Birmingham, 4 times in Sunderland. It's just, you know, they just do not stop. Like I say, if you're attracted to children, you'll always be attracted to children. You just can't take that away, you know, so no rehabilitation will ever work. Do you think the police are doing enough to help catch paedophiles? Most certainly not. If I thought police was doing enough, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And the fact is they're underfunded, understaffed, and the amount of cases that we put before the cybercrime units around the country is basically put them on overtime, and there isn't enough staff to do what we do, and there's a lot of red tape when it comes to the police doing what we do. So now that there's so many paedophile hunting groups, I think the cybercrime units has just backed off, and they're allowing us to do what we do, which is wrong. But I mean, at the end of the day, if they're understaffed and underfunded, what else can they do?
Do you feel the police respect you?
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect from police, judges, barristers. They all praise what we do, because like I say, we're doing it in a way that suits everybody and not just to suit the public or, you know, being big-headed or anything about it. Do you have trauma from this kind of work? Yes. At first, when I was doing the decoying, I was waking up through my sleep on a regular basis, sweating, talking about chat logs, talking about the people that would need to go out and catch, and shouting nonsense in my sleep, which upset my wife quite a lot. So,
How did you feel on the day, like that first sting you went to? How were you feeling?
oh God, I was really nervous. And like I say, you've got that little, when you first start, like some of the team, and like one of the girls who's in the team at the minute, she's still going through the phases where you feel a little bit guilty for what you're doing. But you soon realise, once you've caught a few and time goes on, you get used to the idea of what you're doing, and you settle down and you realise you're doing something good. It's just like a walk in the park to me now. I've done that many. But there's always that side of you that, you know, things could go wrong, this could happen, that could happen. But my main aim is when we go out is to make sure the team's safe and everybody gets home safely. Who was the most unexpected person you've caught? My wife's relation. One of my wife's cousins, we caught him. That was probably the most unexpected person we've caught.
How did you feel when you found out?
Just the same as I did with anybody else. I mean, if my mother was a paedophile, I would go and sting her as well. It's no one's exempt. How many women have you caught? We've caught 2. We caught one in Aylesbury and we caught a woman on the Isle of Wight. Women actually groom children in a different way. A woman will talk about touchy-feely stuff, whereas a man will talk about penetrative sex. What's the most dangerous situation you've found yourself in? There's been quite a few, actually. 2 of the team were in a car, and a guy who'd left his 2 children at home alone while his wife was at work. He was a driving instructor. He came out and met us behind some shops. And when he knew he was trapped in that back lane, he drove head on into the car, wrote the car off, and he came for me at around 50 miles an hour, and I just managed to get my car out the way. So, yeah, that was probably one of the most dangerous situations I've ever been in whilst doing this.
Is there a typical reaction from people when they know they've been caught out?
The typical reaction is denial. But a lot of people will say they've been hacked or it's somebody else that's doing it, somebody's setting us up and all the rest of it. But normally they're froze on the spot. They know they've been caught. And like I say, it's very few and far between that people actually do try and run away or get away. Is paedophilia a worse crime than murder, in your opinion? I would class them both as bad as each other. There's a lot of children being abused around the country, so, you know, the way I see it is anyone that's willing to abuse a child should be doing the same amount of time as somebody who would go out and murder someone.
What is a typical sentence?
I would say 75% of the people that we've caught have been given suspended sentences or community orders, which I'm very much against. Is like I say, it's no punishment at all. Like I say, a slap on the wrist. But like I say, in my eyes, I think the starting term should be 5 years. But in reality, in the law, it begins at 2 years. But it's very rare you'll see a paedophile being jailed for that amount of time. Do you have any statistics about how many people you've caught? We've got over 400 convictions now, but the amount of paedophiles that we have caught is larger than that. And like I say, we've had cases take up to 5 years to get to court. I would say 25% of the people that we catch go to jail, and 9 times out of 10 they'll be a repeat offender, or they've done something previous. But yeah, I would say 75% get suspended sentences or community orders, but 25% do go to jail. I think when we've tried to tot up how many years the paedophiles that we have caught are in jail, it's over 100 years. So, like I say, it swings and roundabouts. What kind of people are in your team? The people in my team are actually people that's been affected by abuse themselves within their life. What I've noticed is when I first got to know these people, they were sad, they were doom and gloom. But now, doing this, it's actually acted as a therapy, and now they've got smiles back on their faces, they've got a purpose in life again. And that's probably the best thing about what we do, is seeing these people become people again. Have you ever gotten it wrong? No. We make sure that we're 110% sure before we actually go out to catch these people. Potentially it could be ruining someone's life. So we'll make sure that we do not get it wrong. We've spent over a year speaking to the same person. It took them that long to actually open up and feel enough trust in the child to speak about sex. So we will spend as much time as necessary as what we have to apprehend this man or woman.
And what's the shortest amount of time you've ever spent?
1 night.
1 night?
1 night. People surely take their lives on a result of your actions. Do you feel no remorse? Definitely not. A dead paedophile will not reoffend. How do you feel about live streaming? The way I look at live streaming is we work with fictitious children, and when you go to a family's home in your live stream, if that paedophile's daughter or wife or relation comes to the door, I don't understand why they should be on camera, because it's them that have to face the music after the paedophile's been taken away from that home. So we will never live stream. We always edit our videos, and that's just so the public and the police are comfortable with what we release online.
Why do you think other groups do the live streams?
For likes and shares.
Right.
They say it's for awareness, but like I say, is how can you justify going to a paedophile's house and, you know, exposing his daughter when she comes to the door and things like that, or just innocent people? You can't delete that footage of an innocent person that's been caught up in the live stream. That's just the way it is, and I'm so dead against it, because, like I say, the children we use are fictitious, so why go out and harm a real child? Because that's what will happen. They'll be bullied at school.
Why do you think there is such a large public appetite for these videos?
It's public entertainment now. That's what it's become, and it's pretty sad, to be honest, because, like I say, is if you're going to do something that's so important, like protecting children, is why put a real child at risk through live streaming at their house? I can't get my head around that fact. Do you not feel guilty about the children of the family you were hurting? Yes, I feel really guilty. We did a case down Stoke. And we have to, I actually left that property crying my eyes out, actually. Well, it's starting to affect us now. We knew this person was the sole carer of these 2 children. The police already had intelligence on the man, but when we spoke to the police officers when they came out of the house, they told us that the children would have to be examined and taken away by the social services. So that is probably the downfall of what we do, because a lot of families has broken through this. I'm from a broken home myself, so I know exactly how they would feel. So yeah, I do feel sorry for the kids, really do. How many priests have you caught? Yeah, we've caught 1 priest. He turned up to meet a young boy. He had this stuff called liquid gold poppers, and he also had lube as well. And he turned out to meet a young boy. He went to prison for a year. So yeah, we've only ever caught 1 priest. Does it make you despair at the state of humanity? Humanity is upside down. Our country's upside down. The laws is upside down. There's laws surrounding the stuff that we do that contradict themselves, and it just doesn't make sense. But like I say, there's all different walks of life, and basically what we are trying to do is just to take the worst ones off the street. Do you feel as if you've got a right to do this job? Well, the fact is if you went to the police and the police turned around and says they couldn't help you, would you go back home and tell your child that you couldn't help your child? As far as I'm concerned, you've got a duty to care to your children, and if your children are feeling abused in their own homes and it's not by yourself and it's somebody online, you will do your utmost to go out and you'll do that job of trying catching them. So, you know, I feel as if I shouldn't have to do this, but the way the day and age is and the internet, I've got no option.
You know, I set up a profile not so long ago, probably a week or 2 ago, and already on that profile is 173 friends requests. That's a profile of a 12-year-old girl. And I can guarantee that some of them will be linked to rings, paedophile rings.